Hello again, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my first reading for October 2015. And this is going to be for the sign of Pisces. I just want to make sure it's the correct one. And I am going to be using two decks. It is going to be the Psychic Tarot and the Angel cards. And what I was shown to do was take one card from the Angel deck as the overall theme and take 5 cards from the Psychic Tarot pertaining to the reading. My regular readings with a client one-on-one are slightly different than this. I don't use any tools. I don't use any cards. I strictly am a medium, and I will talk to a grandma, a dad, a dog, whoever wants to come through. But it is not possible to do it for a whole bunch of people at the same time and as a general reading. So what I will do is I will use these cards, and I will also be listening to my guide to tell me what each card represents. Also, what I interpret to be in a card may not be what another reader would interpret to be a card reading. It may not be the same as in the book. My readings are going to be strictly intuitive and prompted by a picture, but mostly through hearing what I'm being told. So just because I see a picture and I say the meaning to you, don't get discouraged if the actual meaning of the card from the book is actually quite different, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to ask for one card for the overall meaning or theme for October, and a card just popped up. So I'm going to use that, okay, as the general theme. And again, this is for Pisces. And I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot. What does Pisces need to know for October 2015? What does Pisces need to know for October 2015? Okay, start shuffling. Cut the deck in half. 2 from red, 3 from right. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So I'm listening how to place my cards and how to cut the deck as well, so that I don't like just picking cards from the top of the deck. It just doesn't feel right to me. Okay, so let's start with the overall theme with the Angel cards. And what we get is the World. Archangel Michael, the World. So the description of the card says, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path forward towards enlightenment. So I'm going to ask what the message is behind this card as a general theme for Pisces. And what I'm being told is it is a time of celebration. It is a time of things coming into fruition and jobs well done. I am seeing people shaking hands. This is business related, and I'm also seeing, funny enough, I'm seeing weddings, but I'm not seeing a typical wedding with a bride in a white dress. I am seeing a wedding that's not necessarily a church wedding. There's no white dress. You know how sometimes people get married and they'll have, they'll have a ceremony, but they're not necessarily a traditional wedding with a white dress. That's what I'm seeing, okay? So a time for celebration and a job well done. So that's the theme for October 2015. Now, let's go with the present situation. And what I get is a third eye chakra. So whenever I get a chakra card, I always have to ask for a lot of information because I actually don't know what they want to say by this. I don't know what the card is supposed to mean, so I always ask. So let me see what they want to say about this. Okay, so what they're saying is that whatever the celebration is, whatever the celebratory times are happening, a lot of it is happening because you or someone you're connected to had a vision, a very clear vision of what they wanted to accomplish. And what they're saying to me is the process took a lot of effort, and I actually see someone meditating, not necessarily meditating in a traditional way or that way, but meditating on the outcome and using their inner eye, their third eye, to see the end result. And what they're saying is that even though there was a lot of conflict throughout the process, the end result is very much what has been envisioned. And what they're also saying is to use that as an example going forward, how visualizing and concentrating on what we want versus what we don't want is so powerful. So if we ever go forward and have a situation where we're just not sure, look back at how visualizing and concentrating on what you want has actually served you. Okay? Now, in your past position, we have material harvest, but it is in the upside down position. Okay? And okay, so what I'm being shown and what I'm actually being told is financial struggles. Struggles pertaining to work, struggles pertaining to finances, struggles pertaining to paying bills, struggles in a physical manner, meaning difficulty finding your way out of a situation. And I feel like someone is running around and not knowing what to do. And there's a lot of confusion, chaos, and a lot of anxiety connected to this, okay? But I really feel this is connecting to financial matters. And it's almost like there's just not enough money to go around. So that's your past. Now, your immediate future is harmony, okay? However, I'm seeing it upside down. So I'm going to ask what this means. Okay, so what I'm being told is the celebration, the wedding, whatever the situation is, it feels like it's based on, I want to say on, there isn't a lot of integrity there, okay? Let me see what else I can get on this. I'm hearing the word discord, okay? So even though there's celebration going on the surface, I feel like there is a discord underneath all of the surface, so to speak. And this ties to me very much to the financial aspect, the difficulties, material harvest that's upside down, the difficulties in the material world. It somehow it ties very much into that. Okay, so what I'm being shown is, despite the fact that the decision has been made and the decision has a celebratory outcome on the outside, there is still some work that has to be done underneath pertaining to harmony between two people. Now, this could be pertaining to a man or a woman getting married, or male, female. So this could be a romantic relationship, or this pertain to a work relationship. But the bottom line is, what I see very clearly is there is a celebration on the surface, but underneath there is still a bit of chaos, okay? So let's look at distant past. Partnership and alliances, okay? Now, what this is telling me is that in a distant past, there was a relationship that was formed. And what I'm being shown is two people coming together, and I see two people coming from their own backgrounds with a lot of, not baggage, but having lived a life of their own in the past. Now, when I say having lived a life of their own, I feel like two people coming together, attaching to one another, so to speak, but they have both their own families. It feels, the best way I can describe it, it feels very much like two people who have been divorced come together, okay? Now, this can also signify people in a business world coming together, but they come, it's almost like they were poached, so to speak, from another company, and now they're coming and joining another company, another partnership. But underneath this celebration, there is a bit of chaos going on. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm going to see if there's anything more that I can get from this. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that this partnership is very much an alliance. It's an alliance that has a mutual benefit, but it feels to me like it has a business component. So for example, if two people are getting together and they're both divorced, or they have their own families and they've left them and now they're getting together, it very much feels that coming together would be beneficial for both, whether it's monetary, whether it's status-wise, but it's more than just for love. There is a component of a business component attached to it. Though it's an alliance formed out of love, it has additional components to it that one is going to help the other one somehow. That's the best way that I can describe it. I hope this makes sense to you. Now, in distant future, what we have is the universe. Now, the universe is shown to me upside down. Universe is typically probably one of the most amazing cards to get, aside from Star. But I'm going to see why it's being shown to me. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that after the celebrations are done, after all the chaos pertaining to the celebrations is over, I feel there is a bit of a letdown, and it feels to me like this wasn't quite what one bargained for. There's a bit of disappointment there. However, I feel that even though the disappointment is felt on some level, there are still components of that relationship, marriage, coming together, or work that are sufficient enough and good enough in order to continue. So the universe upside down to me signifies in this scenario a little bit of a disappointment. Okay, I want to say a premature celebration, but there is still something good in that. Okay, now let me see if I can get any more on this. Okay, so what I'm hearing is that the situation you have found yourself in is not quite what you bargained for. I also feel there was a hastiness with coming together with this other person or a partner. I feel that the situation was not necessarily thought out properly or long enough, and it feels very much like let's just jump right in, and as a result it feels like a bit of a disappointment, as in I'm not sure this is what I bargained for, but it's kind of too late. Now, it's never too late, and like I said, there's still a component that feels good about this, but there is a really bit of I'm not sure that this was the best course of action. Nonetheless, it is what it is. Okay, so overall, I do not feel this is a negative reading at all. I feel that it gives you a lot of information, a lot of confirmations of what you possibly already feel. And if not what you feel now, is what you will feel down the road. So don't take this as a negative thing at all. And of course, none of this makes sense to me. It's not supposed to, but I hope it makes sense to you. And I would love for you to